Hi, I'm Greg Satori, and today at Satori's Auto we're going to talk about timing chains. Your vehicle probably has one. Most modern vehicles do. It's a chain that keeps the camshaft timed to the crankshaft. And on this video here, we have a picture of a generic engine. This bottom shaft here is a crankshaft. The top shafts are camshafts, and this large chain that looks like a bicycle chain keeps everything aligned properly so that the crankshaft is timed with the camshaft. As this engine rotates, you'll see that the crankshaft will spin and the pistons go up and down and these valves open and close, and you have to open at the right time, otherwise they'll smash. This other piece right here is the timing chain tension that applies tension to the shoe and keeps everything in proper tension. The timing chain looks rather robust actually, doesn't it? You think nothing would ever go wrong, but actually it's far from the truth. Primarily from the lack of oil changes or timely oil changes. There's oilers that keep this timing chain lubricated, and that doesn't get properly lubricated, so it wears, it stretches. Lack of oil pressure can affect the timing chain tension, which allows the timing chain to slap, which can cause valve timing issues, fuel economy issues, engine performance issues. And if things wear bad enough, the chain can actually break, causing these pistons to come in contact with the valves and then causing major engine damage. So we want to catch that timing chain before it breaks. Typically, we'll hear a rattle when you first start the engine. Once the oil pressure kicks in, it usually quiets down when this hits this, but prior to that, the engine will rattle because the timing chain is slapping. So we have a vehicle in the shop we're going to be looking at today. We'll take it apart and talk about what's inside there. Okay, so this particular vehicle is a 2016 Chevy Equinox with a 2.4, probably the most common timing chain failure of all the models we work on here. This is what it looks like when it's together. In a couple hours, we'll come back out and look at it, what it's like when it's apart. Welcome back, and Paul has this engine partially disassembled, and I want you to see what it looks like before we take the old timing chain off. So these are two camshafts that have two camshaft gears here. These are variable valve timing sprockets that can actually vary the camshaft timing, and this chain goes all the way down to the bottom to the crankshaft. So if this chain is worn like this one is, these shafts are going back and forth, it's slapping, it's making all kinds of noise. So the timing covers off, the valve covers off, and we'll look at parts once we got them on the bench. Okay, so we have the old components from that Equinox laying on the bench here now. This is the main timing chain here, which looks a lot like a bicycle chain. A little sprocket here which connects to the crankshaft, and two sprockets that connect to the camshaft. And this device right here is a hydraulic tensioner that goes into the engine, and oil pressure pushes on this and pushes against here. Also, this little device here is an oiler, so there's an itty bitty little orifice. Oil pressure comes in here and squirts out here, and it actually squirts oil against this timing chain. So if a person doesn't change oil regularly or doesn't change oil often enough, and oil either gets low or deteriorated, this little orifice can get plugged up, not allowing oil to go on the timing chain, or the oil pressure may be low, not allowing this tension to push on this shoe, pushing tension on the chain. And so oil maintenance is so critical to modern engines today. I strongly recommend, and we recommend, that you don't go by the oil life indicator on, especially a GM vehicle, and other vehicles as well, but change oil every 5,000 to 6,000 miles on most modern engines. Otherwise, you may have problems like this, even though you're changing oil regularly. The new stuff, this chain will be much shorter because it hasn't been stretched out. And this is also a balance shaft belt. This vehicle has two chains, a balance shaft chain and also a timing chain. This one isn't as critical, but it still gets replaced at the same time this one does. So we'll look at the engine again once it's all back together. Okay, so all these parts have been replaced on the vehicle in question here, including these bolts here. These are actually a one-time torque to yield type bolts, so they actually stretch when they're torqued properly. And so once you take them off, they will not shrink, so they always are replaced with this job. And there are many torque to yield bolts in modern engines. And we're at the vehicle now, and Paul has the new timing chain installed. It's actually got special little, if you come on this side with the camera, you'll see special little timing components. So these chains and camshafts, everything's timed properly with the crankshaft, so that when this thing's running, the compression is in the proper area and it's optimized with proper compression. So that's what it looks like when it's together. We'll just wait until the engine's completely assembled, and then we'll start up and listen to it. Okay, welcome back. So Paul has this thing completely assembled. It's actually running now. It's nice and smooth. It's relatively quiet. This particular vehicle has an exhaust leak, so it's a little bit louder because of that, but there's no timing chain clatter. Should be good to go, hopefully, for another 100,000 miles, as long as this customer continues to change their oil on time. So, hope you enjoyed this little demonstration.